We are back at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. We ran into some technical difficulties, apparently. We got bumped off the internet and never did put us back on. So here's where we stand right now. 27-22. Rockford East is up by 5 points, and the ball out of bounds with 3:45 left to play here in this second period. We do know that Chris Burnell has at least tied his school's all-time scoring record. He did that from the free throw line. And now we are back down at the other end of the floor with East St. Louis in control of the ball. Forgive me for a minute. I'm still going to check my YouTube page and make sure that I am indeed on. That one didn't work. And underneath the basket, Hargrove. Nope, he stepped out of bounds. Bad time for that to happen, right? Unless, of course, it was the next game. And Collinsville, that would be a bad thing to do for the Collinsville fans. But at any rate, here is Burnell. He gets called for a charging foul. Actually, I think that all right, now I can see me on my phone. Okay, good to go. Making sure I'm still on here. 3 minutes left to go here in this first half between East St. Louis and Rockford. It's been a good one from what I can remember from before I thought we were on the air, and we weren't. Of course, then I had to spend a few minutes staring at a laptop instead of looking at a basketball game, so I have missed a little bit, as well as you all have. But here we are, 27-22, 5-point lead belongs to Rockford East, 2:50 left to play here in this first half. Here come the E-Rabs in the corner. Three-point shot skips across the rim off of the hands of Clanton. Down the other way we go. East St. Louis Flyers are flying. Here in the corner, three-point shot on the way. That one is a little bit short from Travion Jones. Rebound this time belongs to the E-Rabs, and now we're going to have a foul called. And this one is going to go against Jones for East St. Louis. Well, according to the numbers on the wall here, it looks like Chris Burnell has scored 10 points. He needed 9 coming into this contest to break his school's record. So while we were away, he did that. So congratulations to Chris Burnell, who now has 1,303 points. And he now takes over the lead, held for a long time by Skip Thorne. That record stood since 1961. So congratulations to Chris Burnell. The senior wears number 3 on his back for Rockford, as he is now his school's all-time leading scoring champion. 2.5 minutes left to go here in this first half. (27-22). That's our score. Rockford with the lead. And again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. Usually the Wi-Fi here in the gym is pretty good. I think we had one hiccup yesterday that bumped us off for a couple of seconds and then right back on. But other than that, I've not had any problems in this gym with this Wi-Fi. Here's a rebound effort by East St. Louis, but that's kicked out of bounds accidentally by Andres Thompson. So the Flyers will get the ball back, trailing by 5. Down the other end of the floor we are as the Flyers look to dent into that lead. And here is a good effort by Terrence Hargrove. And we're back to action. Back out, Clanton into the corner. Finds his teammate Dickens. Back out front, top of the key. Three-point shot. That one is a little bit too hard for Josh Crawford. And now the Flyers try to tie it with a three-point shot. No good. Rebound on the ground. Picked up by Rockford East. They bring it down court. Here is Crawford. That was a nice job by Crawford just to get down there. Then he might have traveled and got away with it. Clanton in the lane. He gets held. No, they're going to call a travel. Flyers bring it down. Here is Anderson. Anderson with a one-arm pass that's picked off. And now Rockford brings the ball back up court, and they throw it away. Back-to-back turnovers by both of these teams. Trying to get back into game mode here, boy. It throws you off your game when you have to stop and take care of stuff like that. All right. Jashawn Anderson brings the ball up over on the right wing, leaves it at the top of the key there for Oliveria. Oliveria dumps it off in the corner. Here's a three-point shot that skips across the rim off of the hands of Elijah Rice. Hargrove with the rebound and the putback, and the Flyers are back to within one. Under a minute to go here in this first half. 27-26, Rockford East is up by one with a semifinal berth against Springfield Southeast on the line. Across the line it comes. Josh Crawford, double teamed. Ball on the ground. Crawford still trying to pick it up. We're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Flyers. So East St. Louis now with a chance to retake the lead here before the end of the first half comes up. .7 seconds to play here in this first half. Anderson brings the ball up across the timeline. Dribbles near midcourt, trying to chew up some more time as the Flyers try playing for this last shot, maybe. Here is Hargrove in the far side corner. Dribbles in the paint. Little hook fly. Can't get it to fall. Rebound smacked around, and finally it ends up into the hands of Demarion Dickens. Rockford brings the ball up with 10 seconds left. Flying through the lane, it's Burnell. He can't get it to fall. Rebound comes down. Here's a 5-second left and a shot no good for Clanton. Out front, Brunel at the buzzer, no good. 27-26 after one half of play. We head to the second half. We'll get our information brought up to us by the folks at Prairie Farms, and we'll pass that along to you as it is halftime here on the Kahoks Sports Network.
All Pro Tees is your place for custom apparel for your school, business, sports team, and more. All Pro Tees offers a variety of services and options, and they'll walk you through that process step by step. They pride themselves in being a local Collinsville business, and they specialize in helping their clients promote and grow that business, all with custom apparel. All Pro Tees, right across the street from Kahoks Stadium. Online at allprotees.com or call 344-2200.
Welcome back to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. We are at halftime between Rockford East and East St. Louis, 27-26. The E-Rabs of Rockford East have the 1-point lead. Here's a look at your first half stats. The leading scorer in this one thus far comes from East St. Louis. That's Terrence Hargrove with 5 points. 14 points. He actually shares that with Shadeen Clanton of Rockford East. So Clanton and Hargrove each with 14. Chris Brunell has 10 points, which makes him his team's all-time scoring leader. Macarius Luster with 3 for Rockford East. Other than that, 5 on the East St. Louis side for Cornelius LaFleur. And then a couple more players with single or double digits. From three-point land, East St. Louis 1 for 8, while Rockford 2 for 9. From the free throw line, both teams pretty solid. 7 of 8 for East St. Louis, 7 of 9 for Rockford East. Rebound, that is being won by Rockford East, barely, 17-16. East St. Louis has turned the ball over 10 times. Rockford East has turned the ball over 11 times. So all across the board, we are very, very close. That's a look at your first half stats. Back with the second half in just a moment here on the Kahoks Sports Network. Back at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, Todd Duke, Zach Roseman along with you. Second half action underway. E-Rabs with the lead and the ball. Three-point shot, top of the key. Does not work. Hargrove with the rebound for East St. Louis. Hargrove makes his move off the glass. Can't get it to go. Putback still won't go. Try again. And underneath the basket. Armand Williams had about 3 tip-in tries. Couldn't get any of them to fall. Hargrove with the ball in front of his bench. East St. Louis brings it out around the perimeter with Anderson to Hargrove. Free throw line, 3-point shot on the way. No good. Rattles for Richard Robinson. Whistle after the play. Will put a flyer to the free throw line. Foul belongs to Shadin Clanton. That'll be his second. First foul here in this second half. To the free throw line, Armand Williams. His first trip to the charity stripe here in this game. Misses on the first try. And there's one more try coming his way. A chance to tie it up here. Armand Williams. Ready? And can't get the next one either. And the rebound belongs to Clanton, who put Williams on the free throw line to begin with. Here come the E-Rabs. East Rockford. Red and black. That's where the name E-Rabs comes from, in case you all wanted to know. Had a couple of people post on the Facebook page. What's an E-Rab? When I first told my wife about the Rockford E-Rab, she said, isn't that discriminatory? I'm like, against who? She thought I was saying A-Rabs, but that wasn't the case. So back down the other way. Slam dunk home for Armand Williams, 28-27. Flyers have the 1-point lead. So, yeah, that's how the E-Rabs became the E-Rabs. East Rockford, red and black. East St. Louis trying to put up a bigger lead. They do. Outlet pass finds Richard Robinson. And just like that, we flip the script. East St. Louis is now up by 3. 30-27 for the Flyers. 6:10 left to play here in this third quarter, so still a lot of time left. Here is Chris Burnell. Chris Burnell at the top of the key will hand the ball off to Clanton, but Clanton couldn't find it. Hargrove's going to come in for a slam dunk, and East St. Louis has a 5-point lead. That will cause Rockford East to take a timeout. We'll stay right here and thank some of our local sponsors here in the Collinsville area. How about Pace Design and Construction in Maryville? Whether you're building a new home, making an addition to the home you currently own, or finally getting around to that remodeling job you've been putting off, Pace Design and Construction in Maryville can help. Pace Design and Construction is a building and remodeling contractor that you can trust. They provide the highest quality, they are dedicated to their customers, and are committed to completing your project on time and within budget. Pace Design and Construction in Maryville. Give them a call at 618-407-5466 or online at pacedesignconstruct.com. Just a couple of seconds past the 6-minute mark to go here in this third quarter. 32-27. East St. Louis has scored all the points here in this third quarter thus far. 6-0 run to start quarter number 3 against Rockford. Here come the E-Rabs. Chris Burnell. Into the corner. Bringing it back out of the corner and all the way to the top of the key. Almost a travel there by Luster. Now underneath the basket. Shot made by Burnell. Brings his team back to within 3. 32-29, East St. Louis with the lead and the ball. Here is Hargrove, just outside the lane, loses the handle in the paint, takes the shot anyway. Now the rebound is batted all around. Hargrove ends up with it, drives back to the basket, off the glass, can't get it to go. Rebound this time belongs to Andres Thompson and Rockford East. The give is to Brunell. He flies down the lane, may have traveled and got away with it. Rebound, tip, put back, nope, can't go in for Clanton. And this time, the rebound belongs to East St. Louis. They get it up into the hands of Jashawn Anderson. Anderson races up the near side, and a foul coming up against Chris Burnell. A blocking foul up that near side sideline. Now each team with one foul here in this second half, and for Burnell, that's his third. Inbound pass getting ready to come in. All right, at the end of the Flyers bench where it meets the scorer's table. Jashawn Anderson brings it in. Gets it to Jones, and Jones gives it back to Anderson. Now Anderson flies, takes a shot, and takes a charging foul in the process. That'll be the Flyers' second. First one for Anderson. Jim's starting to get a little busy now as we were scheduled for a 12 o'clock tip-off in the next matchup that features Collinsville taking on Decatur MacArthur, but we are a little behind schedule due to the long first game. It was going to be long anyway, but then about a 20-minute delay during a injury timeout to Anthony Fairley for Springfield Southeast, who left here on a stretcher with a injured right knee. And again, we wish him all the luck in the world on a speedy recovery, but those knee things can be a little bit tricky. Here's a three-point shot by Andres Thompson. We're tied at 32. 4:20 left to play here in quarter number 3. Here is Anderson for East St. Louis. Flyers get the ball up into the hands of Jones, now over on the far side, and a turnover will put the ball into the hands of Parker. Parker drives, gives to Burnell. Burnell, he can't finish. Clanton gets the ball back, puts it up, and it's stuffed back in his face by Richard Robinson, and then the ball ends up out of bounds, last touched by Robinson. So Rockford East will inbound, and they'll do so from underneath of their own basket, out to Burnell on the left wing in front of his bench. And then he thought that Parker was going to stand in the corner, so Burnell flipped the ball that way, but Parker already vacated the area, and that's a turnover for Rockford. Here's Anderson. He brings the ball up through midcourt. 3:50 left to play here in this third quarter. Anderson in front of the scorer's table as a ball knocked out of his hands. Burnell picks it up, and the E-Rabs bring it back up. Looking for a chance to take a lead off the glass. Burnell, no. Rebound, that falls right down into the hands of Richard Robinson, and then Burnell clamps on. And the possession arrow in favor of East St. Louis, so it'll be a turnover anyway. Dickens will check back into the game, take the place of Burnell. Flyers bring the ball up court. Inbound pass comes into Elijah Rice. Rice moves the ball up with 3.5 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Rice dumps it off into the corner. Three-point shot. Rolls all the way around the rim. Won't fall in. The rebound belongs to Clanton and Rockford. Into the paint. Oh, nice move by Clanton, but he can't finish. The underhand fingertip roll. Rebound belongs to East St. Louis. Here is Robinson, almost had his pocket picked by Thompson. Now we get it over into the hands of Armand Williams, and that ball gets poked out of bounds. East St. Louis will keep it. And we await another restart. Kendez Baskin checks into the game. for the Flyers, that is, and a shot, rebound, whistle. .243 left here in the third. Inbound pass comes in. Hargrove checks back into the game. And out front, Elijah Rice. Rice in front of the scorer's table. Takes it over to the right wing. Gives to Hargrove. Hargrove makes his way toward the paint. That area is blocked off, so he just takes a shot from outside the lane. And the rebound falls into the hands of the E-Rabs, and that ball is knocked out of bounds by Elijah Rice, right out of the hands of Clanton. Parker and Burnell check back into the game for Rockford. And the E-Rabs have the ball. Here is Parker. He will inbound to Burnell. Burnell to the top of the key. Outside the lane, takes the shot, can't get it to fall. He's having a hard time getting anything to fall now since he's became the team's all-time scoring leader. Here's Elijah Rice for East St. Louis. Rice bounces it into Hargrove. Hargrove out to the right side of the lane. Moves his way toward the lane. Baseline shot, but Clanton had his face, or his hands all in the face of Hargrove. So Clanton will pick up his team's third, and also his third. Terrence Hargrove ready for some free throws. He did not make any of those in the first half, nor was he at the line for any attempts. Hargrove is ready. First one's good. Flyers back up front by 1. Low-scoring game, 33-32. A little less than 2 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Hargrove ready for the next. Both good. 2-point lead for East St. Louis, 34-32. Burnell had that ball knocked out of his hands for a moment. He gets it up to his teammate Thompson's hands, who then finds Dickens. Dickens comes up over on the right wing. Backs it back up to Thompson. Thompson at the top of the key. Spin move on the wing. Now back out front. Drops it off for Burnell. Burnell with 90 seconds left in this third quarter. At the free throw line. Puts it into the corner for Thompson. Thompson drives. And then the ball ends up on the ground. And last touched by the man who was laying on the ground and ended up touching the out-of-bounds area. And that was Basquine for East St. Louis. Inbound pass comes in. Clanton, three-point shot. That one rolls across the rim. And now a foul going to be called against Sincere Parker as he was over the back of Elijah Rice during that rebound effort. So East St. Louis and Jabril Oliveria bring the ball up across the line to Elijah Rice. Back to Oliveria in the corner. LaFleur, three-point shot, swoops out, won't fall, and then Clanton, gets fouled as he goes up for the rebound this time. Foul is going to go to Basquine. Four fouls for Rockford, 3 on the board for the Flyers, 1:03 left on the clock here in this third quarter. Inbound pass comes into Burnell. Burnell races it up that far sideline, and he is fouled by Oliveria. So now each team with 4. And the inbound pass will come in front of the scorer's table from Parker into the backcourt for Brunel. Brunel dribbles his way up across the timeline, throws it across the timeline to Dickens. Dickens hits Brunel at the top of the key. Brunel works his way back toward the scorer bench. 40 seconds left here in this third. Brunel finally breaks the seal here in this third quarter. 34-34 is our score as we approach the final 30 seconds left to play here in this third quarter. Here is Elijah Rice. Rice at midcourt. as the Flyers want to play for the final shot here in this third quarter. Rice with 13 seconds. Down to 10. Now Rice makes his move. Over on the far side wing for LaFleur. Back over this way, and then back to LaFleur. LaFleur will launch a three from in front of his own bench, and he'll hit it. Right before the buzzer, Cornelius LaFleur hits a three-point shot to give the Flyers a 3-point lead after 3 quarters of play. One more break coming your way, and then we'll have fourth quarter action. Don't you go anywhere. Got a good one going here between Rockford and East St. Louis. And the fourth quarter comes your way next on the Kahoks Sports Network.
Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is a T3 certified tire center, and they can handle all of the basics, like oil changes and tune-ups, and the not-so-basic stuff, like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations, Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611 online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook. Sloan's Pub House in Collinsville. Sloan's Pub House is now into their second year of operation on Main Street in Uptown Collinsville. Sloan's Pub House offers daily lunch and dinner specials that feature homemade pizza, burgers, sandwiches, salads, and more. Sloan's Pub House offers a great variety of craft libations for you adults, as well as a great brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. Sloan's Pub House, 119 West Main Street in Collinsville. Call 855-9100 or online, sloanspubhouse.com.
Todd Duke and Zach Roseman back with you from Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium here in Collinsville. Fourth quarter between Rockford and East St. Louis. This should be a fun finish. Here is Demarion Dickens. He takes it into the lane, takes the shot, can't get it to fall. Rebound comes down into the hands of Elijah Rice. Now Rice almost turns it over. Into the backcourt it goes, but East St. Louis hadn't made it into the front court yet. Here is a pass into the corner, 3-point shot, and the bucket by Cornelius LaFleur, his second three-pointer in a row, and this time he'll have a chance to turn it into 4. At the free throw line, LaFleur hits his shot, and that makes it a 6-point game, a 7-point game, 41-34. Marion Dickens was guilty of that foul. Here is Brunell. Brings it up for Rockford East and loses control of the ball. Here comes Terrence Hargrove. He flies, but Brunell meets him in midair and pretty much cuts off anything that Hargrove was going to do. But Hargrove can make up for it with a couple of free throws here. Brunell picks up his 4th foul. That is the team's 6th. Kahoks waiting in front of their locker room, but there's still 7:23 left to play. We were supposed to tip off that next game here in 5 minutes. But again, the longevity of the first game prevents that from happening. Hargrove hits his first free throw. He is now 3 of 3. And the next one also in. And that gives Hargrove 20 points for the game. 43-34. It's a 9-point lead all of a sudden for East St. Louis. We were tied just a little while ago. Up underneath, kicked it back outside. And at the free throw line, Dickens has to get rid of it. Here's a 3-point shot. That one rattles home for Luster. That'll help his team out. 1 minute gone here in this fourth quarter. Kahoks are now leaving the stands and heading to the locker room. We'll get a little pregame inspirational speech, I'm sure. Here is Rice, baseline, shot, falls a little short. Rebound belongs to the E-Rabs, and a loose ball knocked out of the E-Rabs' hands, picked up by the E-Rabs, and then we have a foul as Brunell got ran into over here on the floor. That foul is going to belong to Richard Robinson. Robinson will collect his team's 5th foul, his 3rd. Inbound pass comes into Burnell. 43-37, 6-point lead for East St. Louis. Burnell makes it away over the timeline and onto the left wing. Now circles, top of the key at the free throw line. Turnaround, fadeaway jumper is good. Rockford climbs back to within 4. 6:15 left to go here in this 4th quarter. Here is Elijah Rice. Rice bounces the ball to Hargrove. Hargrove in the paint. Has the ball stripped out of his hands by Demarion Dickens, but Dickens got more body than ball. And he'll be called for the team's 7th foul. It's 1-and-1 time now for Terrence Hargrove. Foul belongs to Dickens. That's his 2nd. Hargrove at the free throw line has not missed from there here in this game. And that continues. Five-point game. Hargrove trying to make it 6. He does. Burnell will bring the ball up for Rockford. They now trail by 2 3-point baskets. Here is Burnell. Takes it in from the right side to the top of the key. Into the paint, takes the off-balance shot, never hit basket, rim, net, or anything. Loose ball belongs to East St. Louis. 3-point shot on the way for the floor. That misses the mark. Rebound belongs to East St. Louis. Flyers come right back with it. Into the corner, Robinson, he tries a 3. That one's no good. Rebound falls down into the hands of Thompson. He gets it up to Burnell. Burnell with a nice spin move in the lane. And good for 2 points. Back to within 4 are the E-Rabs. 5.5 minutes to go here in this 4th quarter. A timeout called on the floor by East St. Louis. And a 30-second timeout will allow us to thank some more of our sponsors. How about the Collinsville Education Association? The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page and can check out the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org. 5:24 left to play here in this 4th quarter. 45-41, that's our score. Flyers have the lead. As they look to advance to take on last year's champion, the Spartans of Springfield Southeast. Springfield Southeast has had a pretty easy fare of it here so far. 97-47 win over Oakville yesterday. And today, there's a big dunk. Well, I tell you what, Richard Robinson dunked and had that mean look on his face. Like he meant to do that, and how dare you get in his way. (85-36) win today for Springfield Southeast. 47-41 and a thrown away ball. All the way down the court. Macarius Luster couldn't get that pass because it was thrown at a weird angle by Demarion Dickens. Nice try, though. Here are the Flyers into the corner, and a shot again by Richard Robinson. This one not as emphatic as the dunk. Here is Chris Burnell. He'll pull it up and give it to Thompson. Thompson at the baseline has the ball knocked out of his hands by the Flyers. 4:43 left to play, 4th quarter. Burnell collects the inbound pass on the left wing. Takes it in the perimeter, pulls around, fade away. That one won't fall for him. And that one rolls across the rim, and Hargrove is there for the rebound. Elijah Rice now with it. Over to Oliveria, who gives it up for Robinson. Into the corner, Rice, three-point shot on the way. Skips across the rim. There is Clanton with the rebound for Rockford East. We are almost halfway through fourth quarter here. And the Flyers are up by 6. Here's a shot. Nope, that's blocked out. And the Flyers end up with the loose ball. And then it is knocked out of bounds. And the Flyers will still end up with the ball. Flyers bring it up. Here's Elijah Rice. Rice puts on a couple of good moves to get past Brunell. He can't get all the way past him. Shot a little too strong. Rebound belongs to Robinson. Hargrove comes in. He's tripped up. That ball won't fall. And then Brunell secures the rebound for Rockford. He brings the ball up, and he is fouled from behind. And that one is going to go against Richard Robinson. That is going to be his 4th, team's 6th. So the next one will be free throw time. Rockford would like a timeout now. It is a full 60-second timeout, so we'll step aside and have a little bit of a break here on the Kahoks Sports Network.
Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today, 618-344-2800, or on the Missouri side, 314-241-5253, or online, lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience, choose Lakeside.
Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, the second quarter final on the consolation side of the bracket is in the books as Althoff defeats Decatur Eisenhower 78-61. So Quincy and Althoff will square off for the consolation bracket's first semifinal. That'll be at 6:30 tonight while we are doing the first semifinal over here between Springfield Southeast and the winner of this game. Right now, 47-41. East St. Louis with the lead. Rockford with the ball. Here is Brunell. Brunell races in from the right side, takes it to the glass. He's fouled by Hargrove, and the bucket counts. A possible three-point play here coming up for Rockford and Chris Brunell. Marion Dickens is going to check back into the game. Second foul for Hargrove. That is the team's 7th, so everybody's shooting free throws from here on out. Brunell hits it, and his team is now to within 3. 47-44. 3:29 left to play here in this fourth quarter. Another slow-moving game. They've already finished 2 games in the auxiliary gym, and we are trying to finish up 2 here. Here is Hargrove. He will inbound to Elijah Rice. Rice brings the ball up. Gets it over onto the far side. That is Oliveria. And now Hargrove has the ball ripped right out of his hands. Now we're going to have a foul called. This one may go against Clanton. And that one may be his 4th. I figured it was. Dickens didn't stay in the game very long. He took the place of Brunell after Brunell shot his free throw, and then they swapped places one more time. 9th team foul for Rockford East to the free throw line. It'll be Terrence Hargrove. Hargrove has not missed from the free throw stripe here in this game, and he still has not missed. Armand Williams checks back into the game for the Flyers. He'll take the place of Cornelius LaFleur. Hargrove Ready to extend his team's lead to 5, and he does. Perfect so far from the free throw line here in this game. Here is Brunell, his team trailing by 5 again. At the free throw line, Brunell glides, flies, shoots, can't get it to fall in though. And the rebound belongs to Williams for the Flyers. He gets it into the hands of Rice. Rice brings it up across the timeline, under 3 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. 49-44, 5-point lead for East St. Louis. Over on the far side wing, that is Anderson. Anderson trying to get his way around Clanton, loses control of the ball. Double dribble is what the referee says. So that'll put the ball back into the hands of Rockford as the E-Rabs trail by 5 points. Inbound pass ready to come in from Macarius Luster. Luster finds Andres Thompson, who gives to Brunell, and Brunell races it up the left side. Top of the key, gives it up over on the wing. That is Luster. Luster into the paint, loses the shot, or loses the ball, but it's kicked by East St. Louis. So Rockford will get to keep possession of the ball. 2:27 left to play here in this fourth quarter. Inbound pass comes into Brunell. He gets knocked down, and a loose ball picked up by Elijah Rice, and he'll just take it easy off the glass for 2 points. 51-44. Here is Crawford now for Rockford East. They'll hand the ball off top of the key for Brunell. And now another timeout called. I think. No? Well, I don't even know what that was. Here's Clanton. Clanton takes a three-point shot and he hits it. 51-47. Under 2 minutes to go now here in this fourth quarter. Here is Jashawn Anderson for East St. Louis. Last couple of minutes of a basketball game, usually the best, especially when it's this close, a 4-point game. Flyers have the lead, looking to advance to semifinal action. Here is Elijah Rice. Rice skirts the midcourt stripe, wasting as much time as he can. Gives it up now for Oliveria. Back to Rice, and Rice is fouled from behind by Luster. That's the 10th team foul, so 2 shots from here on out for East St. Louis. And for Luster, that's his 3rd. Elijah Rice, 1 for 2 in the first half from the free throw line. Hits this one. Parker checks back in for Rockford East. He'll take the place of Josh Crawford. At the free throw line, Elijah Rice has one more shot coming his way, and he cannot get that one to fall. Rebound, Burnell. Oh, man, between the leg, dribble to himself between the legs of Elijah Rice. That was sweet, and that was almost a turnover. Here is Burnell with a big three-point shot, and that gets the E-Rabs back to within 2. 52-50, 1:17 left to play here in this fourth quarter. We will take a break and come back and tell you all about the final 1:17 in just a minute here on the Kahoks Sports Network.
Cullip Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Cullip Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all design styles from traditional to trend-setting. Cullip Jennings Florist is, of course, your place for beautiful flowers suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Cullip Jennings Florist is there for any of life's major moments. Cullip Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online, cullipjennings.com.
Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, 1:17 left on the clock. 2-point game. East St. Louis has the lead over Rockford East. 52-50. E-Rabs have committed their 10 fouls, so East St. Louis will be on the line shooting 2 if they get fouled. Flyers have committed 7 fouls here in this second half. So if they commit one, Rockford East will go on the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Here is Elijah Rice. Rice out at the midcourt stripe, trying to make his move and get past Brunell. Brunell doing a nice job. Oh, they call a turnover. They said the 5-second rule. I don't get that at all. I thought as long as you were dribbling, you didn't have to advance the ball. Big break there for Rockford. Chance to tie or take the lead. Here is Chris Brunell. Brunell takes it in from the right wing. All the way to the basket. Shot too hard. The other rebound too hard. Out front. 3-point shot to take the lead. Off to the left. That's Andres Thompson, and now a whistle. And we'll be going back the other way with it. Foul coming up against, it looks like Andres Thompson, or is it Chris Brunell? If it's Brunell, he's out. Yep, it's against Brunell. Brunell is now out of this game. Chris Brunell has fouled out. And that comes with 44.6 seconds left, and the Flyers at the free throw line. Elijah Rice will have a chance to make this a two-possession game if he can hit both. First shot on the way. Good. 3-point game. Rice hits both. Two-possession game, 4-point lead belongs to the Flyers. 44.6 seconds left. And here come the E-Rabs. They bring it up in the form of Clanton. Clanton at the top of the key. Ditches it off to Parker. Parker with a big 3-point shot. Oh, boy. Makes it a 1-point game once again. And Rockford East uses their final timeout. It is a full 60-second timeout, so we will step aside for about half of that and be back in just a moment on the Kahoks Sports Network.
Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is a T3 certified tire center, and they can handle all of the basics, like oil changes and tune-ups, and the not-so-basic stuff, like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations: Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611, online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook.
Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, I'm Todd Duke. Camera guy is Zach Roseman. 28.9 seconds left. Big 3-point shot. Hit by Sincere Parker right in front of his bench to bring Rockford East to within 1, 54-53. It will be the Flyers' ball when we resume play, and that will resume all the way down at the other end of the court. Inbound pass going to come in from LaFleur. And now East St. Louis will call a timeout because Chambers thought that they weren't going to get that ball inbounded in time. So we will keep it here for this one. Thank a couple of our other sponsors, such as the City of Collinsville. You can check out the City of Collinsville's Facebook page for information on upcoming events in Collinsville. As usual, the City of Collinsville, proud supporters of the Collinsville Unit 10 School District, and they wish all district athletes good luck this sports season. How about Chapman Trucking LLC? Chapman Trucking is a local Collinsville business owned and operated by 1994 Collinsville graduate Christy Chapman. Over 9 years of experience, Chapman Trucking can take care of all the heavy lifting when it comes to hauling aggregate materials such as sand, driveway rock, dirt, boulders, and more, including getting your heavy equipment where it needs to be. Give Christy a call for a free estimate, 618-960-9346, or online, chapmantruckingllc.net. Inbound pass comes in. 25 seconds left. A triple team over on the other side. Ball is loose. Picked up by Rockford East, and it's good for 2. Again, it is Sincere Parker with the magic. 1 point lead now for Rockford. Here we are with the final 10 seconds to play. Here comes Elijah Rice. Rice cuts through, kicks it off in the corner. 3-point shot, no. They bluffed one. Anderson, Hargrove, no. Hargrove was stuffed by Clanton. Clanton's going to get called for a foul with 3 seconds left. Clanton now fouls out of this game. So Clanton and Chris Brunell are now out. And you know who to the free throw line. Terrence Hargrove has not missed a free throw here in this game. He's up there shooting 2. 1 will tie it. 2 will give his team the lead with just 3 seconds left. Hargrove readies himself at the free throw line. And it's in for the tie. Hargrove ready to give his team a 1-point lead. Short. First one he's missed all game. And guess what, folks? We're going to overtime. Like this day was not long enough already. We are going to go to overtime. You can't. Don't. I wouldn't do anything. Fouls you can, but I wouldn't try to change it to the next period because it'll say final on it. So we will take a little bit of a break here and come back with overtime in just a moment here on the Kahoks Sports Network.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future. To create your inheritance. To build your vision. To anticipate the known and unknown. And to find potential in both. And build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, we are headed to overtime. East St. Louis and Rockford East. Terrence Hargrove picked the wrong time to miss his first free throw of this game. His very last shot. Before that, he was perfect the whole game. And that missed shot caused us to go into overtime. It's been a long day, so why not? First game took about 2.5 hours. We're on pace for about that here in this second game. As we tip off at midcourt, Terrence Hargrove, man, oh man. Andres Thompson smacked that ball into Maryville. We're going to have a foul right off of the tip-off. Oh. Well, a violation on the tip-off. Somebody jumped early. All right, so that gives East St. Louis the ball. I guess that would have been Andres Thompson who jumped early. He went up, almost touched the bottom of the scoreboard. So East St. Louis with the ball first. Here is Hargrove with it. Out of the corner, out to the top of the key for Anderson. Back over to Hargrove. Hargrove travels, and then he tripped over the feet of Andres Thompson. So the Flyers will turn the ball over. And Rockford will have the chance to make a dent into the scoreboard here in the overtime department. And they do not have Chris Brunell or Sincere Parker. Both of them have fouled out. Here's a Parker. Oh, man. Sincere Parker hot here down the stretch. Hits another three-point shot. Rockford goes up 58-55. 3:15 left to play here in this overtime. Here's Elijah Rice with a pass over to the far side wing. Now he gets it right back. Over here on the near side to Anderson. Into the corner now for LaFleur. Back out to Anderson. To Hargrove. Free throw line. Kicks it out. Three-point shot. LaFleur. Too short. Rebound. Belongs to Sincere Parker. He'll throw the ball up, and a nice job regaining his control there was Andres Thompson. Here's a three-point shot. Oh, man. Demarion Dickens. Back-to-back three-pointers have put a little dagger into the sidestep of the East St. Louis Flyers, and the Flyers want to call a timeout. Back-to-back three-pointers made here by Rockford East has given the E-Rabs a 6-point lead. 61-55 is the score. Wow. Well, let's thank the Junior Service Club of Collinsville. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club has been providing women in the Collinsville area an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go help the needy in Collinsville. For any information on any upcoming events or fundraisers sponsored by the Junior Service Club, just head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and that will take you to their page, and they'll have all of their events listed right there. 2:43 left to play here in this first overtime period. And so far, a couple of big three-point shots. One by Sincere Parker. And the other one by Luster. Here come the Flyers, trailing now by 6 all of a sudden. Into the corner it goes. Robinson gets it. Hargrove slams it. Nice fly through the lane. That was a pick design play right off the bat to get 2 of those points back for East St. Louis. Now Rockford East. They'll bring the ball up with 2:20 left to play here in this overtime. Get it up into the hands of Thompson. Thompson has the ball leave his hands, and it goes out of bounds. East St. Louis tried to get there, but the effort failed when Richard Robinson slid across the ball and took the ball with him out of bounds. Inbound pass comes in from Parker to Dickens. Dickens just in front, double dribbles. And that'll put the ball back into the hands of the Flyers. 57, Flyers, 61, Rockford East. E-Rabs with the lead. Into the corner, it is LaFleur. He brings himself out, gives it up to Anderson. Anderson back to LaFleur. Here comes a three-point shot. That one's going to be a little short. And the rebound back to LaFleur. He'll jump it up, put it off the glass for 2. And it's a 2-point contest, 61-59. 1:45 left to play here in this overtime period. And East St. Louis gets a steal on a turnover and into the paint. Shot taken, good. Anderson, we're tied at 61. Here's Sincere Parker. Parker bounces the ball up to Crawford, and right behind him was Richard Robinson, and he pokes his hand in there to try to poke that ball away, but poked Crawford instead. And Crawford will head to the free throw line. That is the last foul for Richard Robinson, so he is fouled out. That's the 8th team foul for East St. Louis, so it's just a 1-and-1 opportunity here for Josh Crawford. Crawford did not see any free throw action in the first half. First one, no good, so he will not get a second one. Rebound belongs to East St. Louis, and now we're going to have a foul called against Sincere Parker. .125 left on the clock here in this overtime. 61 is our score. And a chance to break that tie at the free throw line for Elijah Rice. Rice hits his first. And he automatically gets to stay up for a second. Collinsville, Decatur, MacArthur waiting in the wings. We were supposed to tip that off 26 minutes ago. Well, we are big time behind schedule now. Short. That one into the hands of Dickens. 1-point lead for the Flyers. He gets it up to Josh Crawford. Crawford cuts through the lane, kicks it outside. Parker, another three-point shot. Oh, boy, this kid's on fire from beyond the three-point stripe. 2-point lead now for Rockford, 64-62. Flyers come up with 1:05 left to play here in this overtime. That ball blocked out of bounds by Parker. That stops the clock with 1:02 left here in this first overtime. Inbound pass comes in. 1 minute to go here in this overtime period. Terrence Hargrove, three-point shot, rolls across the rim, pushed out of bounds by Parker. So the Flyers will get to keep it with 54.6 left on the clock. Inbound pass will come in to Hargrove. Around it goes to Anderson. Anderson toward the top of the key. All the way over here in the corner. And a three-point shot for LaFleur that skips across the rim. And the rebound belongs to Rockford East. They're up by 2 are the E-Rabs. They give it up now for Josh Crawford. Crawford in the backcourt. Fires a pass to Dickens. Dickens just outside the lane. Baseline, kicks it back out front. And across the way we go. Crawford over his head. And now a foul coming. Is that going to go against Crawford? No, they're going to call it against Cornelius LaFleur. And that'll be the 9th team foul, so it's 1-and-1 time for Josh Crawford. It was just up there a second ago on a 1-and-1 opportunity. Missed the front end, so didn't get the back end. This one does go through, so he will get the bonus. Now it's a 3-point game, one more of those, and we turn it into a 2-possession contest. Back at the free throw line, Josh Crawford. This one, it falls through. 2-possession ball game. Here come the Flyers. Elijah Rice gets it up to Anderson. Anderson in the lane, off the glass, can't get it to go. Rebound being volleyed for. Hargrove ends up with it. He turns around, takes a shot. No shot is going to be allowed, and we'll have Hargrove back up at the free throw line, shooting 2 with 17.5 seconds left to play here in this overtime. Foul is against Andres Thompson. That's his 4th. Hargrove has now missed 2 in a row from the free throw line after he was perfect up there before that. The first one he missed sent us to overtime. It's a pretty important basket right here, though. You get this one, it's a 3-point game, and that's a 1-possession contest. Hargrove does hit it, so it's 66-63. Timeout on the floor taken by East St. Louis. They want to draw up a game plan to try and get this ball back. One more foul by the Flyers, and that will put the E-Rabs on the line for 2 shots. It's been a fun game, been a long day already. We're going to be here all day and all night, but these first 2 games have taken, it seems like, forever. We got underway at 9 o'clock. It's 12:30. You're talking about 4.5 hours to play 2 basketball games at the high school level when there's only 8-minute quarters. .5 seconds left. Collinsville Kahoks waiting in the wings over in front of their locker room. Coach Lee leaning up against the padded wall, talking things over with athletic director Clay Smith. As everybody just enjoying this overtime period, but waiting for the next game. Inbound pass belongs to the E-Rabs of Rockford East. Inbound pass comes in to Sincere Parker, and immediately he's fouled. So that was the game plan for the Flyers. Foul early, hope for a couple of misses, and take it from there. So now the game resting squarely on the shoulders of Sincere Parker, and why not? He has been hitting some big 3-point shots late in the 4th and here in this overtime. Parker misses the first one. 16 seconds left. One made free throw would turn it into a 2-possession game and make the possibilities that much more difficult for East St. Louis. Parker ready for his second shot. It's on the way, and that one's through. 4-point game, 67-63. Flyers, here they come. It's Anderson. Anderson all the way down, coast to coast. Can't get the shot to fall in. Rebound picked up by Rockford East, and they will take it down the court. Here comes Parker. Parker off the glass, counted for 2, and that's going to do it. Buzzer sounds, and Rockford upsets the Flyers 69-63. Man, oh man, that was a fun game. We're behind schedule, so we're going to go ahead and shut things down here and get you ready for the next game between Decatur, MacArthur, and Collinsville, and that'll be coming your way in just a little bit here on the Kahoks Sports Network.